Start recording. Hi there. I am Jacqueline Luongo, the Director of Sales and Business Development for PDO Max. I am honored to have Thomas here with us to talk all things about marketing. Welcome, Thomas. Tell us
Hi.
a little bit about yourself and your business. And I can't wait to share all the things that we're doing in synergy together.
My name is Thomas McBride. I'm the CEO of Innovate Aesthetics, and we've been doing different types of digital marketing, strictly with aesthetic practices for about the last 7 years now. So we've held various practices all across the country, whether that's with social media, custom web design, app development, SEO management, or graphic design. We pretty much can do everything in-house, which is great. We've grown a lot over the few years, so we have a lot of abilities to help out med spas with whatever stage they're in and to kind of get the branding and awareness out to their patients.
Awesome. And let's start with how you started working with PDO Max. I love the evolution of what we're doing
Yeah.
together, and really we'll get to the point of why we are, on this log today to talk about our new promotion. But start
Yeah.
from the beginning. How did this start with PDO Max?
Yeah, it's good. It's really cool because we've actually been fortunate to be with PDO Max since like the very, very beginning, which has been really awesome. Prior to that, we'd already been working with Giovanna McCarthy, the founder and CEO of PDO Max. So we had already been helping her with her med spa at the time. And she'd approached us, about the new big project she was going to be working on, which is PDO Max and the PDO threads that she was going to be putting out there. And we were just ecstatic that she considered us. We'd already had a long-standing relationship. We always loved working with Gio and her crew. So then to be approached with that was just such a big deal for us, especially since this is several years ago. We're still a smaller marketing company at the time. So it was really, really exciting to be a part of that from the ground up. And we were thrilled about it. And we started helping, from the very beginning with an original website design. Then that moved on to helping really get the word out branding wise with social media, graphic designing for that, and also helping out with the newsletters, and then helping out with the SEO just to kind of make sure that PDO Max is the one that comes up prominently on any type of search engine. Should any type of practices be typing in, I'm looking for PDO threads or PDO thread training. So that has been how we've been operating with PDO Max ever since. It's been a lot of fun. We go to a lot of the train the trainer events. We work with a lot of the trainers now with PDO Max. So it's a really great group of people that we're fortunate to really know very well, and not just on a business professional level, but also just on a very personal level as well. I consider Gio and a lot of the trainers very good friends of mine, which I like because that just makes me work harder for them because I always want to, take care of the people that mean the most to me.
Absolutely. And what I see from a team member standpoint, you do work with a lot of close friends of mine in the industry, and you are certainly on the radar and have the pulse of this industry as your niche for, really your company. And so it's starting to have that trend of who to go to that is in the med spa, medical practices and this part of the industry, which is wonderful. So I love seeing that evolution. I love to see it, continue to grow further. And also just that our belief systems, our moral compass as business, just business owners and working with in a sales component, we all really align in the same way of our best practices. And I really value that, and I know that you do as well because now I've had the opportunity to work with you very closely, as well as some of my dear friends in the industry, and I've seen them just completely grow their practices, and marketing is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
So that definitely brings me to, one of the reasons that I wanted to get on here with you today is we have launched a training program where a practice will train with us, and within that 30-day period, they get to get a percentage off their orders, as well as if they get to that $5,000 mark, they get this amazing added value with you and your team for a marketing package and campaign. So tell us a little bit about that, Thomas. And I would love to hear an example of some of the success since we've launched this about 2 months ago. we're starting to see some of that traction there. So tell
Yeah.
us a little bit more.
Yeah, so it was really great to be approached, by Peter Max to help out with that, and it was something that was definitely in our wheelhouse. And essentially, what it is, and just like you're saying, somebody who has just now been trained with PDO Max, they reach
Mhm.
out and contact to us, and what our team is doing is basically just trying to give them a very good starter kit to get the word out about their practice, doing PDO threads now for their patients. A lot of times with med spas, a lot of med spa owners and practitioners, they're wearing multiple hats. It's like they're not just the owner of the med spa. A lot of times they're the owner of the med spa. They're doing all the marketing. They're doing all the outreach. They're doing a whole lot and still trying to juggle all their patients. So our goal is to say, if we can give you 15 or 20 hours of your life back this month, then that's very, very valuable. That's hours back to your patients or whatever else you need to do. So we approach it with that, and we basically let them know they don't need to worry. Our team is going to take care of everything for them, and we try to give them the most complete package we can to get this started. That's everything from creating social media assets that are branded to their particular practice. That way, it's not something generic, not something that everybody else has, but it's really, really tailored for them. Along with the social media assets, we also try to give them as much good curated content as we can too. We let them know, change this up however you want to, but this is at least a good starting point. And if you do get very busy, at least you can go into this folder, you can go into this drive, drag and drop, and you're good, and you're totally okay with it. We'll also try to make sure that if they have a website, if we can create like a page that's dedicated just to PDO threads, that way, if they want to direct patients to a particular spot so they can learn more, get some frequently answered questions answered for themselves, or showcase some great before and afters that they're already providing for their patients. Again, that's a huge help. Our design team puts together a very nicely laid out page, again, customized to their particular brand and branding. We also try to provide for them a really good 500-word blog just to help with some local SEO, super helpful right there. And again, tailored. We also help them to make sure that like any of their graphics or videos can be branded, can be cut down and edited to where it's really functional and shows off just what they want to show to their audiences for a quick upload to any type of their social media. And if they need help with like some of the ad campaigns, we'll create ad campaigns for them. Also break down any type of demographics that could be helpful when they push out their social media campaign. And so when it's all said and done, again, they've saved a lot of hours by just contacting us. We'll take care of it for you. We're very collaborative. So it all starts with a phone call. We get to know them as well as possible. And, we let them know this is probably the first of a couple of phone calls. My team gets to work. They make everything look really fantastic. Get a secondary call, go through it, get some edits, and then, deliver a final product from there.
Incredible. Can you really even put a price tag or a value on
Yeah,
that? Because there's just so much that you gain from the investment of time
right.
having the opportunity to work with both PDO Max and your team to execute this.
Yeah,
And on our end, where we found there was a little bit of slow moving in the momentum of after being trained, that 30 days
right,
right after being trained is just so imperative to get the word out, to get the 10 models and to get those faces and keep that clinical confidence going and practice. And so we have found success in these accounts that are doing that within that short period of time. And that's really where that momentum is gained. And why not, have an expert that's really in the industry to market this and help with
right.
that. On top of the fact that you have helped us create the graphics and the things
Yeah,
that we have, it just makes so much sense because
yeah.
you had a pulse on that whole time as we were like we just launched Loom MV and you can really help them because you have a close eye on it on both spectrums.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was very helpful just having been with PDO Max for so long, since the beginning, we know so much about it. That's
Mhm.
one, just having that expertise, but also having the ability to reach out to you, Geo, or anybody on the team with PDO Max that we do have a question, or if we do, or hey, can this work with this, so to speak? And to be able to get that instant feedback for us, and then we give it to the clients, That's fantastic. And just like you were saying, momentum is everything. We've already had a couple of the people who worked with us letting us know that, hey, this is working. We've reached out to our patients. We've had some bookings now, and we have some new before and afters. And a lot of times that's the best place to start is like, yeah, you want to let everybody know that you're doing this, but start with your patients. Like they already
Yes.
trust you, they already like you, they're already happy with you. So you just let them know, like on top of everything else we do, we now have this one extra thing for you, and we'd love to show you.
Yeah, absolutely. It just we see this is the formula that works, and we're so glad that you are able to support some of our accounts that may need that and see that value to set them up for success. That's huge for both parties. So even on a bigger picture, what can you share some of the trends that you're seeing with marketing and social media, especially in our clinical med spa treatment world? Give us some tidbits.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot happening. And of course, like I mean, the biggest thing everybody talks about is AI. AI is going to revolutionize everything, and it will. It will. Not yet, though. It still has a lot of kinks to work out. And we do try to. I think education is one of the biggest things that we try to do for clients because I think sometimes we see things on social media, whether they're ads or whether they're influencer stuff, saying, "Oh, this is easy. All you need to do is click a button." It's never that easy. Never. It never will be that easy. AI is probably one of the most fantastic tools to come out in recent history, but you still have to tailor it for your brand. And a little
Mhm.
experiment that anybody can do, ask AI to write a 500-word blog about Botox and ask it to write it again and again and again 3 or 4 times. By the fourth or fifth time, it's literally spitting out the same thing from the first one. So now if you have 100, 500 med spas all asking the exact same thing, you're going to get the same thing.
Everything's
And
going to be
that's
the
where,
same.
yeah,
Mhm.
and then it doesn't help you. It doesn't help the SEO or anything like that. So you still have to be able to treat it as how can I still target this for my brand, for my audience, my local reach or my national reach. Um, there's a lot that goes into it. So we do try to, we want all of our clients to be empowered that if you want to do something on the fly, great, we want you to, but we want to show you what is the best practice that can get it to the way that you need it to be for you, for your area, for your practice, for your med spa. So I think that's the biggest thing right now is that it's kind of separating the fact from the fiction. It is a wonderful tool. You just have to know how to use it the right way. And there's so many things that are going to change soon. Like there's now AI coming out that will be able to do really, really well-crafted videos, which is really cool too. But at the same time, patients want to see real people. You can still tell when something is AI to a point, and no matter what, patients want to see other patients like them. And it's also figuring out like what is your target audience. If your target audience, for example, is like 40 to 65, it may not help at all if you're showing some, beautiful 20 or 30-year-old when that's not your audience. So
Mhm.
having that knowledge and then creating it in the way it's going to be helpful, that's going to be a big thing in the future. And people will want, in my opinion, more real than they will want the AI. I think we're going to
Mhm.
actually see a trend going in the opposite direction, especially for the med spa industry, because it's such a real industry. And
Yes.
showing people's before and afters, that's very powerful. And I think like
Mhm.
you don't want to dilute that down by adding filters, by
No.
adding fake things. Like it's enough. It's enough that you make somebody look really youthful, really naturally beautiful. And if they're happy with it, that's the important thing right there. So you don't ever want to take away from that. Um, so yeah, trend
Makes
wise, it's
sense.
just being cautious with AI and work with a group that knows how to do that and can explain it to you as well. I think another big trend is going to be more personalized apps and more personalized what's called gamification. And that's basically just rewarding your own audience for being loyal to you and for being the patient that comes back over and over again. What can you do to thank them? What can you do to incentivize them? I think it's going to make the biggest thing in the next few years is how can med spas or practices or offices add their own unique touch just for their own clients who have been loyal to them? How can you reward them and thank them, for constantly being there for you?
Those are some really great points. And I certainly agree about, seeing real faces, people that look like you and the before and afters of that, because it seems attainable and realistic. I love that for sure. And Thomas, even though you are a huge niche within the aesthetic market, can you share a bit about the differences in the other markets you do work in
Yeah.
comparison to how customized the aesthetic market really should be when it comes to marketing and social media?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I'm very fortunate again. Innovative Aesthetics is very much focused on just like the med spa industry. I'm a partner in a secondary company that kind of helps with anybody and everybody. So we do have a very broad experience with a lot of different markets. Like I think we've pretty much worked in almost all the major ones. Aesthetics, in my opinion, is truly so unique because each practice gets such a wide, diverse group of people. There are all types, all types. I mean, we're talking anywhere from, the younger 18 to 25. Then you get the next bracket. Then you have all the way up to like more of an older audience as well. Each one of those segments is unique in itself and has to be approached differently as well. A lot of other industries, I think, are very, I don't want to say the word cookie cutter, but they're very straightforward. This is our group and that is it. We're not worried about anybody else. Technically, it does make life a little bit easier because you're just focused on one small segment. But with the med spa industry and aesthetics in general, it is just so fun because there's always something new all the time. With every single practice, such a diverse range of before and afters, different types of treatments and equipment that you can use based on what age group or what type of person is coming in to see you, and that you can service them all. And I think that is
Mhm.
so cool and just so much fun right there. And we get to see all types of treatments and get to see all sorts of amazing before and afters from such a diverse group of people. That's so much fun.
Yeah.
Just as a marketer in general, that's like you're always doing something new. It does not get static. It never gets boring. There's always something
Yes.
new coming up.
I think that's why I love this industry
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
It's always very innovative. It's always interesting and evolving. There is always something new. And what a great point to talk about the demographic being in such a large range. I
Hmm.
never really looked at the aesthetic world in that sense, but from the beginning of treating your skin when you are younger to, continuing as your skin
Yeah.
becomes more seasoned and as things come up, I love that.
I
So
like that. Your skin
thank you.
becomes more
And I
seasoned. I
agree.
like
It's fun. The industry is so fun. It's so fun to work with all of
that.
you, yourself, your team. I always highly recommend it to, personal, contacts of mine, and to, a lot of our accounts. So I'm so glad that we have this program for PDO Max, early trained accounts, and even for some that might get into the advanced training and then they decide that they want to work with you, there's opportunity there as well. So Thomas, please share with us how we can contact you and how where they can follow you and stay in touch.
Yeah, yeah. If anybody ever needs to get a hold of us, our website is innovate-aesthetics.com. And you can always reach me out directly on email. That's just at thomas@innovate-aesthetics.com. Very responsive. So shoot me a message. We'd be more than happy to get back to you and see how we can help out.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time. I look forward to growing even more and seeing what the rest of the year brings. Thanks, Thomas.
Right. Thanks. Have a great day.
Thank you.